Influencer Entrepreneurs Podcast with Jenny Melrose, where I strategize with business owners on how to grow and scale their businesses to hit their income goals. This is episode 310 of the Influencer Entrepreneurs Podcast with Jenny Melrose. Today, we're going to be diving into how to stop comparing yourself to others and start cheering them on. I'm going to give you 8 simple things that you can do and implement today so that you can have this mindset shift. Now, before we do that, I want to make sure that if you haven't already joined in our Business of Blogging 5-day live workshop, then I want you to make sure that you go and do that. You can send me a DM on Instagram at Jenny_Melrose, and I will send you the link to make sure that you are signed up for that. I'm going to be teaching live via Zoom, where I'm going to be able to see all of you and be able to give you content that is going to help you start making sure that your business is scaling and running like a business. All right, you guys, so let's dive into how to really stop comparing yourself to others and start cheering them on. We often actually find ourselves comparing ourselves to others rather than cheering them on, but here's how you can actually stop yourself. First part is the reason why you should not compare yourself to others. I think we really need to start with this idea that if you compare yourself to others, you are going to be triggering yourself. You are bringing on and seeing negatives that you wouldn't ordinarily see if you weren't comparing yourself. When you look at someone else and see, oh, they're doing these extraordinary things, they're going to these extraordinary places, they have this wonderful life, you are seeing the highlight reel and seeing all of these great things and seeing yourself as not having them. And because of that, you are reinforcing things that you do not have. You want to flip the script on that and start to cheer them on instead. When you actually stop comparing yourself to others, you will find that you are going to be more focused in your business and in what it is that you can do in order to move you forward. Instead of wasting hours of time on Instagram or Facebook and starting to feel like you are not a success, you are a failure, you will find that you can actually focus more on the goals that you want to hit and the way in which you want to move your business forward. So let's actually talk about things that you can do to stop comparing yourself to others. The first thing, remove the trigger. If you know that there is someone on social media that you constantly find yourself going, ugh, then I want you to stop. Stop following them. Don't watch and see what they're doing. Whether that is family or whether that is another influencer, blogger, whoever it might be. If there's something about them that triggers you to see yourself as a failure or not succeeding, just stop following them. Take that trigger out. The next thing I want you to do is to be grateful for your journey. I feel like I constantly remind my kids of this. I'm also constantly reminding my clients of this. Your journey is not the same as anyone else's, and you need to be grateful for the journey that you are on, because that journey is yours. Some of us might be at a point where we don't have any babies in the house anymore. Maybe we're empty nesters, or maybe we are going through something with a family member being really sick that is taking our focus. You have to make sure that you are grateful for the journey that you are on and know that it is yours. No one's journey is happening the same way that yours is. The third thing that you can do is to know that your obstacles today are your strengths tomorrow. Because when you get past those obstacles and have learned it, you've become a stronger person, so that now the next obstacle that comes in your way isn't going to feel as difficult and will be easier to get over. So knowing that that is there for a reason. The fourth thing you can do is to listen to uplifting and positive podcasts. I really want to emphasize this. It is so simple to put a pair of earbuds in your ear and go for a walk. You're probably already walking your dog or getting out and doing gardening, whatever it might be. Put some earpods in and find some podcasts that are going to inspire you. I constantly hear guests on my show. One of the most recent guests that we had is Teresa Forever. She has a podcast. She is one of the most uplifting women I have met in a very long time. And you probably heard me say that to her in that interview that I did. Go to her podcast, search her name, make it one of the ones that you're listening to, and put the earpods in your ears and make sure that you are getting that positive reinforcement from others that are going to inspire and uplift you. The next thing I want you to do is to surround yourself with positive people. Sometimes the people that we have in our lives, personal lives, are our triggers. Maybe they are the ones that need the reinforcement on looking at things from a different standpoint. I am one of the people that I look at a glass as half full, whereas I have family members that look at it as half empty. And therefore, I have had to try to help them start to see the positive, giving them ways in which they can become more uplifting, because they do have a tendency to trigger me when they're constantly so negative. If they are not your family members, if they are friends or they are bloggers that you were in Facebook groups with and they are constantly being negative, you can remove yourself. You can disassociate from people like that and find people that are going to be positive and uplifting. Now, that's not to say that some people aren't going to be frustrated with the obstacles that are coming into their lives and maybe seem a little down at times. But if they can't find the positive and see a way in which around it, or are trying to find a way around it, that's where you may need to disassociate yourself from those people. Have those adult conversations with them. Try to help them get to that point. But if you get to a point where you just can't, find a different Facebook group, find a different community that is going to uplift you. And I'll tell you this right now, I know a community that is just like that. Mastering Your Influence, my membership site, is a community of women looking to uplift each other. I cannot tell you the conversations that we have had about anything from our kids to our marriages to our businesses and how they're all impacted by our business. I think that's something we forget as women, is that we are very used to reading self-help books by many men, and they will tell you compartmentalize everything. Yet, of course, they oftentimes have a wife at home who is dealing with everything else so that they can compartmentalize everything. And we as women cannot do that. We still have to be very involved with our family, our home, the finances, everything that goes on. So trying to figure out ways that you can make sure that you are surrounded by people that are understanding that and finding ways to overcome those obstacles so they can continue to move their business forward. I'm telling you, Mastering Your Influence is definitely a place that you would want to be. The sixth thing you can do is to cheer on others' successes. Be their cheerleaders. Don't see that their positive things, the highlight reel that we often see in Instagram. You need to see it as, look at what they are doing. That is amazing. I want to someday be able to share something like that, or I am so proud of them for that. My best friend in my personal life, we talk every once in a while. It's always random times when all of a sudden I'll get a phone call or she'll get a text from me and say, hey, we got to schedule a call. She said this to me probably 6 months ago. And she said, I always see it as, I get to cheerlead them on. I'm so proud of them for what they have been able to accomplish. That is a mindset shift. You have to look at it that way so that you don't see yourself in the comparison window of the opposite of, I haven't been able to do those things. The seventh thing is to do the work and implement. And when I say this, I'm talking about reading the self-help books. Find some female voices. Don't just rely on the male voices that are going to tell you, here's productivity tips. Just eat the same thing every day and wear the same thing and make as little decisions as you can in your personal life therefore you can make the best decisions in your business. That is a load of crap. How many decisions did you all just make before you got the kids out the door? Normally, I'm making about 17 decisions before I'm even out the door with the kids, and that's at 7 o'clock in the morning. How am I possibly not going to make any decisions in my personal life? That's just not something that we can do. So do the work. Find the voices that are going to speak to you at a different level, that are going to talk to you about the things that you are struggling with, whether you are struggling with mindset, whether you are trying to find a way to be more productive, or if you're trying to understand a sales process better. Find the voices, use references, and ask others. Ask other women, what are the books that you're reading that you have found so helpful? One of the books that I absolutely love is We Can All Be Millionaires. Excellent book. And she is so powerful and so strong in the words that she uses and inspires. That's what you want. You want resources like that. The 8th thing that you can do is to find someone for accountability. Find someone else that's going through the struggles that you are going through so that you can also help them as well as they help you. Now, if you are looking for something like that and you're looking for people that are going to be able to hold you accountable to your goals, as well as give you strategies in order to grow your business, then you might be a perfect fit for one of my mastermind programs. Or if you are looking for one-on-one, you find that you do better when you have a mentor and you are working one-on-one with a coach, that is also something that I offer. I want to be able to be the best teacher that I possibly can be to you. So if you are at a certain point in your journey, you have a question and you say, what is the best fit for me? Here's the type of learner I am. Send me that DM on Instagram. I will be totally honest with you. I will tell you, hey, you know what? You're not quite ready for one of my mastermind programs yet. You need to do this, and this. Or I may say, hey, here's a program that might be a better fit for you. Then you can get into this program. Now, if you're someone wondering, what is this like? What is she talking about? The accountability? Where can I possibly find something like this to see if it's a good fit for me? Then you definitely want to make sure that you join in on the Business of Blogging 5-day training that I am going to be doing. It kicks off November 7th. So if you are not already signed up for that, make sure that you do. It is a free 5-day training event that I am hosting. You're going to be able to hop on via Zoom live, ask the questions that you have, get the answers to your businesses, and I'm going to give you strategic things to put into practice so that you can continue to move your business forward. Now, if you're listening to this after that date of November 7th and you weren't able to sign up, don't worry. You're not going to be able to necessarily get in on the live aspect of it, but instead, I want you to go grab my book. Go grab my book, Influencer Entrepreneurs, the 4-step framework for building your audience, growing your business, and making more money online. That is going to give you the foundation and be able to help you really start looking at your business as a business, because that is exactly what we are talking about. Too many of you say, I'm just a blogger. We need to eliminate that conversation that you have in your head of being just a blogger and eliminate it from your vocabulary. All right, you guys, I appreciate you so much for listening in. If you haven't already left a rating and review, what are you waiting for? I would absolutely so appreciate it if you took the time to leave a rating and a review, just telling me what you have found so helpful in the podcast over the course of the last year, week, whenever it might be, or even just in this episode. All right, guys, until next time, I will see you all then.